A relatable nightmare for the Jets on Sunday that we can relate to down in Houston, no matter the results. Go inside the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey.
Sunday's going to suck for Jets fans. I'm not talking smack. I can relate. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 610, the Odyssey app. Exclusive interviews with players, top radio coverage in Houston, and the top Texans digital coverage on the net. Texans heading to New York against the Jets. Something weird is going on here. And I don't know what to make of this. But we've seen this happen this year at a different time in a different way. And the Texans actually benefited from it. It was against Jacksonville the first time around. The line started close to 7. It dropped down to less than 4. And that's the same thing that's happening right now, except in an opposite direction. You have the New York Jets. We're a 6.5-point underdog. Now they're a 4-point underdog. Really good pass defense against a Texans offense that is pass dependent. Just lost Tank Dell. Weird stuff going on for sure. But Sunday's going to suck for Jets fans no matter what. And I'm not saying this to talk down. We know dog-butted football very well around here in Houston. We know the history of the Texans organization, 2 decades of, for lack of a better term, mediocrity. No AFC championship game in the last 3 seasons. They've been 3 of the most dog-butted seasons that any organization could possibly experience. But there is hope for a couple of reasons. The 2 most prominent positions seem to be in good hands. DeMeco Ryans at head coach, CJ Stroud, number 2 overall pick at quarterback. And that's why this Sunday, no matter what the result is, if the Texans lose, that obviously sucks around here. But if the Jets win or lose, it's going to suck no matter what. And I can actually feel your pain. I actually think this is going to be the second toughest watch for a Jets fan. And again, not talking down. I'm not in any place to talk down. I've been there. I understand what it's like. We've been there in Houston. But I do have 6 reasons why this is going to be a tough watch for Jets fans. Number 1 is because the second overall pick gone wrong versus the second overall pick gone right at the most important position. Zach Wilson, a number 2 overall pick in 2021 versus CJ Stroud, number 2 overall pick in 2023. Zach Wilson is a bust with the Jets. We can all agree on that. If we can't agree on anything from New York to down here in Houston, we can agree on that. He is a bust. And when you have a quarterback and you have a shaky quarterback situation and you don't have the long-term solution, it sucks watching other teams that appear to have that solution. Experienced it the last few years, watching Davis Mills go against some of these younger quarterbacks. And it's just going to be a reminder. And quite frankly, it's a crapshoot. Quarterbacks make fools of us all. The Zach Wilson pick, as much as we can talk about him being a bust, maybe there were better solutions, but it's not like there was a franchise quarterback available. So maybe that makes it a little bit easier. Maybe not, especially when you consider that they won meaningful ball games to take themselves out of the Trevor Lawrence situation. But Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance might not have been the long-term solution, but they would have been better. But it sucks to watch a bust go against a number 2 overall pick that is having one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen. It can all come tumbling down, but from a Jets POV, that sucks. We've lived it. Reason number 2 why this is going to suck is because you have 2 head coaches in this game that came from the same place. Robert Saleh came from San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan. DeMeco Ryans actually credits Robert Saleh for where he is. And I'm a Robert Saleh guy. But the reality of the situation is right now he's 15-30. I know there's been a lot of New York media types that have had issues with him. And DeMeco Ryans right now seems like a better version of Robert Saleh. He seems like a guy that has firm control. He's already changed the culture. It's his culture. He hasn't thrown all his chips in the table of Aaron Rodgers. So not only are you watching a number 2 overall pick gone right, you're also watching a coaching situation and a coach that took the same path that seems to be a better version of what you got. We'll see what happens with Robert Saleh, but I think at the very least there's healthy skepticism, and there's a chance DeMeco Ryans wins Coach of the Year. Reason number 3, Sauce versus Stingley. This was something that I know it seemed like a lot of Jets fans kind of hung their hat on. And right now, it's hard to say that Derek Stingley is better than Sauce Gardner. I'm not going to sit here and shape my lips to say that. Sauce Gardner is a hell of a player. Now, he's in Robert Saleh's system. Derek Stingley had to spend the first year in Lovie Smith's system. But at the moment, the one thing that was unquestioned, that no one could even question, that the Texans fans really didn't even have anything to hang their hat on, there's momentum right now for Derek Stingley. He has 4 interceptions in 3 weeks. He has 2 interceptions last week. He was just named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. So the one thing that you felt best about, you got the better cornerback. It still may be true, but it doesn't look as great right now as maybe it did. But that's a hell of a matchup there. Reason number 4 why this is going to be hell for Jets fans. And again, not talking down. I can sympathize, empathize, all that type of stuff. The loss, win, loss. This sucks. Trust me. This is the worst feeling for a football fan, is to feel like even when you win, you lose. And when you lose, you win. Shout out to White Men Can't Jump. Shout out to Gloria. Sorry that Billy did you like that. But even if the Jets, and I think there's a decent chance, even if the Jets win this game with the reality that you're going to need a quarterback, and I hear people out there saying that the Jets need to draft a quarterback. When you lose or you win, you feel like when you win, you feel like you lose because your draft equity gets worse. The possibility of maybe getting a Daniels or a Drake May or something like that, it decreases, and it really sucks because all NFL fans want, especially in a great city like New York, a great sports city, is you want to be able to win. You want to be able to feel good about a win. Feeling bad about a win sucks. We saw it at the end of last year. Sometimes it works out. We around here, we thought that the Texans had pissed away a great opportunity to get Bryce Young. CJ Stroud ends up working okay. Jury's still out. Too early to completely write off, Bryce Young. But it does suck even when it seems like your team has a decent chance to win a ball game. And if you follow the money and you look at the matchups, that seems to be the case. It sucks whether you're going out there and freezing your ass off or whether you're investing your time and watching 3 hours. It sucks to feel like losing is better than winning. It's not fun. Trust me. I've been there. Not talking down. I've been there. Reason number 5, a QB holding the franchise hostage. I would love to know in the comments if there's any Jets fans that come through. Shout out to Jake Asman. Buddy of mine, does his Jet stream, one of the top streams. Good dude. Talked to him this week. We've seen a quarterback around here hold the franchise hostage. Deshaun Watson, before all the off-field stuff, he wanted out of town. So you were basically at the mercy of Deshaun Watson. That kind of seems to be the case with the Jets. And I wonder how some Jets fans, I don't want to say all Jets fans have the same opinion, but how it feels to have Aaron Rodgers every Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day it is, to go on TV and basically talk about what the franchise is, what the state of the franchise is. When he gets hurt, you have the worst offensive coordinator maybe of our lifetime, Nathaniel Hackett, calling plays because of him. He's 40 years old. You don't know what he's going to be. You really didn't get to look at what it was going to be like. So now you've basically pressed pause on what was kind of a roll of the dice. A QB holding a franchise hostage is a helpless feeling. Sometimes it's worth it, but sometimes it's not. I really want to know what that feels like, because for me, I would be annoyed by Aaron Rodgers and the whole bit, especially knowing that reason number 6, you're a victim of a bad schematic offense. There's nothing worse than that. Nathaniel Hackett, I know the Jets offense has struggled, and I know that the quarterback position is hard to take care of, but it's hard for me to imagine with some of the good football players they have on that team. Garrett Wilson, absolute stud. He's from the state, ended up going to Ohio State. Seems like a great dude. Breece Hall, some of the other guys that they have. It's hard for me to imagine that with a competent offensive coordinator, with a competent offensive scheme, and we had to run Bill O'Brien's offense for damn near a decade. It sucked, and it sucks to be a victim of that. Yet your ceiling is not maximized, etc. It sucks to be the victim of a bad schematic offense, especially knowing that it's because a quarterback that's not playing is not there. So I feel your pain in New York, not talking smack. I know this is going to be perhaps the second worst viewing that they've had in New York. I actually think the Jets have a pretty decent chance to win this ball game. I think I've gone on record saying I think it's either going to be a beatdown and rock bottom for the Jets, where the Boo Birds are out, or I think they could get out a close game because it's a hell of a defense. It's a physical defense. It's a good pass defense. Texans are dependent on the pass, but CJ Stroud does have a way to win games, and quarterback position kind of a big advantage. But I feel your pain. I know it's not fun. I can relate to it. We can relate to it around here, and it should be fun. But man, that's going to be a hellacious viewing experience for the great fans in New York and the Jets. Glad it's not me, regardless. But have a good time, and shout out to all the media types that got to cover this. I saw Gio say that WFAN, it's like homework watching the Jets. Trust me, can relate. Either way, happy to be on this side. Thanks for coming in the locker room. Remember, when it comes to the Texans, we're all in this together.
Yeah, we top 2 and we not too plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up,